Hello, hello. What up, everybody? Wanted to do a quick lesson today. You already know who it is. It's your boy Tommy Ross. Here's the deal. Okay, we've got to get to know our scales better. We've got to build a stronger facility. Okay, a more well-known facility. So our solos are just more second nature. Okay. How can we do that with making it fun? Typical thing people do when they learn the scales or the shapes of the scales. Let's take the minor pentatonic and the 5 scale and the 5 shapes with that. Here it is. Okay. I'll put that down here. All right. Okay. I'll go ahead and drone an E chord over here. I want to do a minor. Started again here. Let's see. So you're gonna bore yourself if you just walk up and down those shapes. Now that's part of the process, okay? You gotta ascend and descend. Down shape 1, okay? And get it. Don't start out too fast. Get it to where you're comfortable. Really, this is a chance to really work on, picking hand and fretting hand coordination. And so that E minor chord is built into that shape 1 of the E minor pentatonic. Okay, get to where you're comfortable walking fast, ascending and descending in all of these shapes. So what I wanted to talk about is how to make something like learning these shapes fun. Once you get past that level, where you can kind of do what I just did, and let me tell you, that's the bare minimum. You've got to be able to do that at least. Now this stuff makes it fun. It's a concept known as odd note groupings, okay, or walking your scales in odd note groupings, okay. You can do 3, you can do 5, you can do 7. Okay. So, for instance, let's talk about the key of A. Minor pentatonic, alright? Let's see if I can't. Just focus on shape 1 here. Alright, let's say we're in the key of A. And this is our shape, okay? And based off the 5th fret. Excuse me, I'm having to get used to this new posture so I can fit the whole neck in the screen. So do that, okay, do stuff like that in shape 1. Be able to walk shape 2 like that, you know. So you're going to find some things like shape 1's really easy, it comes natural to the hands. Walking that will feel pretty easy. Shape 2 is going to be a little different, and it's this little section right here. The so I'll pull shape 2 out here. Whoops, that was me. Here's shape 2. Okay. It's a tough one, okay? So it just goes to show how much do we really know our pentatonic shapes? Do we really play around, and can we play all the same phrasings in every shape? I'll be honest, I don't. Part of actually growing in anything you do is being honest with what you know and what you don't know. It's not that I don't know the pentatonic shapes, but I'm being honest that I don't really try to make all of them my home base. You know, shape 1 has always kind of been my home base when I get lost, or I just kind of go to that tunnel vision improv, you know. Something about shape 1, man, it just feels like home. But start to familiarize yourselves with these other shapes and begin to work in concepts like odd note grouping. So after you can walk the shape, so that was in the key of A, all right? You can do all 5 shapes in the key of E. You better be able to do it in the key of A. You got to be able to do it in every key. So familiarize yourselves with keys that you're not familiar with, okay? Practice what you don't know. Don't practice what you know. I mean, that's not saying to learn something one day and completely forget it, never go back to it. But that means, you know, don't continually play these ascending and descending shapes once you learn them in one key. Go off to the next key. Go half step up and do the same thing. Take the shape to half step up, whatever. Do it again and again and again. Because that's what it's all about. There's no shortcuts to knowing what you're doing here and being comfortable improvising on these scales. And this is one of the more simple scales that you can learn. Okay. Now I'm going to put shape 1 back right here, and we're going to talk about that odd note grouping concept. So after you've mastered walking the scales or the shapes or patterns like that, and maybe not mastered it, but you know, at least get to the point where you get it, and you know you get it, and kind of beating a dead horse in a way. Which I don't even think I'm beating a dead horse yet. So it's something you should always come back to. It doesn't mean once you feel like you've mastered it to, like I said, put it away. And even when you have like mastered it, you don't ever put things away. You write it down, you document it, so you can go back over what you've learned and revisit it sometime in the future. And you never know how it's going to dawn on you the next time you learn it. So back to the odd note groupings in the key of A. Okay, so we're going to start on this note, which is actually the second note in the scale. So here's the root. Here's another root. Here's another root. So there's 1, 2. So we're going to start here. We're going to peel away. We're going to descend from this note, okay? Let's see, it would be this note right here that I'm pointing at, okay? Oh, there's my dog in the background. There's Frodo. Yeah, he said, Dad, hurry up with this video so we can hang out and watch The Grinch. So, anyways, here we are. We're going to start here. We're going to count to 5 descending, and then we're going to jump to the next note in the scale and count to 5 descending from that. It's going to look like this really slowly. I'll do it with one finger. Okay, so we're counting to 5 like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so one more time. So the faster you're able to play that, the cooler it's going to start to sound, okay? And I know even that gets boring. Even that, you're practicing that, and you're like, what is that going to do for my playing? Well, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And by the end of this lesson, I'm going to show you how you can, for me, quickly translate these technique concepts into your the stuff that you're playing, the music that you're performing or learning, or into your daily solo routine, you know, on just improvising over a chord progression. Okay, I'm going to show you how to quickly translate that, because concepts like these take sometimes weeks, months, you know, to actually show up in your playing, and I mean like your real improv, like on the spot playing. Okay, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a second, but let's kind of go over the way to practice this. Okay, and this is kind of like part 2.5 in your 3-point practice session. Okay, your practice session should start out with ear training, you know, in the morning. You know, find the first tonic note, find the third note, you know, and find the 5th note, and familiarize yourself with the triads that form a major chord. Okay, do it with minor chords. Then, so you finished part 1 of your practice for the day. So let's say you have a 3-hour day. First hour is ear training. Then we got 30 minutes of music theory. Okay, studying this first concepts you study, like intervals, harmonies, melodies, the circle of fifths. Okay, after that, 30 minutes of that, you'll go into 30 minutes of technique, right? Basically looking at a scale and learning it, you know, or in the key of A. Right, so you learn that, it's kind of that concept. Maybe you get to this point now where you're going to learn odd note groupings. Okay. And then maybe you do that, and maybe you do take that same concept into shape 2. Okay. This one's going to be a little more difficult. Okay, take it into shape 3. Do that in all the shapes, okay? Take that odd note grouping concept and master it. I mean, to the point where it's fast. It's that last little jump that gets you. So there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off of your D string right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then jump to the octave. So I love doing that. Anytime I land on the root, I jump to an octave. Quick way to find an octave off your low E string: go 2 strings down, 1, 2, and then 2 frets over, 1, 2. Same off the A string. 2 strings down, 2 frets over. So A to G string, it's the same shape. Now from the D string, it's kind of the same concept. We can go 2 strings down, but we have to go 3 frets over. 1, 2, 3. So you skip a string and go 3 frets over. So that's how you can quickly find some octaves, okay? There's other shapes and other things you could memorize to find an octave quickly on the fretboard. But now you've learned how to put odd note groupings into your technique, practice that little 30-minute portion of the day, and now it's time to go into your final hour. It's repertoire, right? It's the stuff you've been learning, the songs, the solos, the fun stuff. And I promise you're going to be like, well, what is this technique stuff? How does the odd note groupings really transfer into my playing? And best way I can explain it is you're not going to be exactly copying what you do throughout the entire shape or pattern, or in shape 1 or shape 2. You're going to take bits and pieces and fragments of what those little drills do and kind of mix them into your melodies. Okay, and for a quick example, I'll show you right here. I think I got a little loop recorded. It's going to be a little hectic here. Okay, so the odd note groupings in the key of E minor, right? You don't want to transfer that whole thing. It's just not what you do. But I can show you some bits and pieces of how I would jump in, maybe use like 3 repetitions of it, and then get back into giving the solo some breathing room. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll start on that last little walk down that I was showing you. That was kind of the challenging part of shape 1. See how I jumped to that octave? Okay, I'm going to jump in one more time like that. I think it's a great way to come into a solo. See that? So that's how you do it. You got to do it on time. You got to do it on rhythm. Okay. And you can do that in one day. Now, some people, it takes a long time for those concepts to show up in their improv. But those little things like odd note groupings, are going to spice up your playing. They're going to give you, I guess, a bigger and better facility for your solos. So once again, guys, I do have a series of books coming out. They'll be here shortly. Please stay tuned for those. Let me know if you're excited about them or not. Don't forget to leave in the comments what I should wear next week. You can always like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when I go live next. Grab your guitars when I do, and it's like getting a real life free lesson. So, yeah, man. Y'all have a good one.